Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the processional.
Please be seated. First of all, thank you, Edgar Martinez, our guitar player who entertained you while we were lining up. And now just a few orders of the house before we get going. Before we begin the formal ceremony, let me remind you to silence your cell phones. Give you a moment. All right. And also, obviously, be quiet and respectful of the people that surround you. During the presentation of graduates, we encourage you, though, to express your pride by applauding and cheering as loud as you can. This is a wonderful day for everyone, graduates, parents, family, and friends. Thank you for being here, and please enjoy the ceremony. So good afternoon. My name is Niels Roma, and I'm the interim dean of the School of Arts and Humanities at UT Dallas. It is my privilege to congratulate you on your graduation. Welcome to you, your family and friends, and especially to all of those who have also traveled from afar to be here with us. Commencement is something we always look forward to every year, but this year probably more than ever. You made it. You're finally here. The class of 2022 has overcome obstacles that we would not have imagined. You've successfully completed your courses on campus, off campus, in person, virtually, and even in hybrid modes and anything in between. Even as far as the semester was concerned, we had probably about any version in there. And yes, you made it. You're here, and for all of that, you should be very proud. This is an exciting moment. You're standing at the beginning of something really new that is about to begin. And you, in many ways, can now rightly pride yourself of the time that you spent with us studying literature, history, philosophy, the visual and performing arts, honing in on your critical mind, on your creativity, and your ability to think. Creativity is indeed the foundation on which you have honed your skills and refined techniques and perfected your crafts, your ability to provide new interpretations, your ability to create new things. All of those are things that you've been able to hopefully perfect. These indeed are skills that continue to be immensely important for you and for us in our society as you go forward. As a famous physician, Edward de Bono, once said, there's no doubt that creativity is the most important human resource of all. Without creativity, there would be no progress, there would be no change, and we would eternally repeat what we've done before. And that is not very good is probably ever more apparent these days, that our society probably is in dire need of some dramatic changes. So therefore, on that level, as far as also your careers are concerned, I'm quite sure that the very skills that you've adopted here will serve you well as you embark on the next part of your life. But be reminded that in order to be creative, you have to take courage. Because in many ways, to be creative and to come up with new solutions means to be disruptive. And I think that's a good thing. You reflect the history and culture of who we are. Your work provides insight, sparking conversations and ideas and innovation that keeps us moving forward. You will create new knowledge, transformational art, and engaging cultural experiences that will lift our communities. And you will make a difference. And yes, you will fail and you will mess up and do all those other wonderful things that come along with success and are part of it. You bring the forward thinking, the critical, and the aesthetic abilities really to the table, and if anything, those are the very ones that I think we are in dire need of exploring even further. You will make a difference in communities around the world. You will contribute to the well-being of us here and there and elsewhere, and you will participate in creating your futures as well. Here you learn to analyze, to create and communicate. You have also developed tenacity, 2 years of pandemic, resilience, the motivation and the passion to pursue your craft and to shape your futures. You understand it's not just what you think, it is how you think and what you do. It is who you are and who you ever want to be. I thank you for your voices and for the impact you will make on our lives here and elsewhere. Class of 2022, congratulations. You have shown us what it means to be a comet. We will follow you as you continue to light the way toward a brighter future. Whoosh! Come on, you can do it with me, no? Okay, you had no advance warning, fair enough. To introduce now student speaker, it is my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Mark Rosen, undergraduate associate dean for the School of Arts and Humanities.
Thank you, and welcome, graduates. Our student speaker came to us from Marist School in Atlanta, Georgia, and is graduating today magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts in Visual and Performing Arts and summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Public Affairs. He has been involved in several student organizations, including the Men's Volleyball Club and Comet Opera, has mentored students as a Gemini ambassador, and as a leader in the liberal arts honors cohort. He also serves as co-director of Novus, UT Dallas's premier a cappella group. He is a member of the Phi Kappa Phi and Phi Alpha Theta honor societies and has made Dean's List multiple times. He has been a public policy and international affairs fellow at the University of California, Berkeley, and he studied art history while abroad in Florence, Italy. He also volunteers his time as a member of the Dallas Symphony Chorus. After graduation, he will be attending law school at the University of California at Berkeley. Please welcome your classmate, Ben Wise.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Wise, and I'm proud to be graduating from the University of Texas at Dallas. I'd like to welcome our faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the School of Arts and Humanities class of 2022. Today's a big day for us. We're turning a page, and in doing so, moving on to another chapter in our lives. Just as with any new and unfamiliar experience, we're going to get nerves, anxiety, the jitters, whatever you might call it. We've all had a little nagging feeling of uncertainty about our futures, about after we leave the place that has become our home. Luckily, we've made it through what is hopefully the most uncertain time of our lives. We're going to get a degree in our hands, a certificate that proves we're ready for whatever is coming next. For some people, having that degree is the ultimate goal. It can open up new opportunities or new pay scales, proving our worth to some external entity. However, this graduation isn't about celebrating our pieces of paper. It's about celebrating us. We are ready for the future because we've learned how to think, how to read, and how to create whole new worlds during our time here. I hope that in this room together, we can remind ourselves that the School of Arts and Humanities has made us better in ways that aren't going to be framed and put on the wall. We're often tempted to valorize what we do for its worth in the professional world. As students in the arts and humanities, we develop our critical thinking, our logical reasoning, and our ability to perform research, among many other valuable skills. These are all great things that will stay with us long after we've left UTD. However, there's a deeper value to the arts than what we're going to put on our LinkedIn profiles. We don't need a market incentive to create beauty in the world. Not everything in our lives needs to be monetized or quantified. We pursue the arts and humanities because we're called to make people think and feel differently about the world through our creations, and because we're passionate about the art and the scholarship that happens here in A&H. What we have in A&H is really special. As the smallest school, we have the ability to form deep connections among ourselves and with our professors. As a singer, I've had the opportunity to learn from the same teacher since I was a freshman and to make music with the same collaborative pianist for over a year now. After having to sing over Zoom for much of a year, just being able to perform my junior recital and now my senior recital in a room together with my friends was magical. Those relationships are also a big part of the support system that I am glad to have had while being here in A&H. We're constantly reminded by this school that everyone deserves grace and respect as we, fingers crossed, emerge from the ongoing pandemic. Now, as we go out into the quote-unquote real world, I want us to remember our experience of creating a caring and supportive community here, and to reiterate that where we can in our daily lives, show others the care that we all need, and even more importantly, have that same compassion for yourself. Now I'd like to take a moment to thank our professors. In my experience, A&H professors see us first as people and then as students. They ask how everyone's day is going. They'll recommend books or songs that they think we'll like. They even bring cookies to our midterm exams. They produce brilliant new scholarship, but we interact with them most as our teachers, passing on their wealth of information to a new generation of writers and artists with a passion that they have both for their field of study and for their students. On a personal level, I especially want to acknowledge a few people that have really shaped my experience at UTD. Dr. Pallant, Dr. Parsono, and Neely Bookert have all guided my growth as a singer and as a person. Dr. Alibai has supported me in whatever direction I wanted to go, even when I was changing my direction every other week. And finally, Megan Gray Herring has always been there for me and for half of the school as an advisor, but she has also had an immeasurable effect on the culture of the School of Arts and Humanities. She has really gone above and beyond to build a feeling of community and fellowship that we experience in A&H. To everyone who made this occasion possible, from those keeping us safe during the return to in-person classes and events, to the staff coordinating this ceremony, I want to say thank you. You helped us get to where we are today, ready to move on to our next step in life. Now finally, to my fellow graduates, I want you to remember something. No matter how unrecognizably beautiful the campus gets after we're gone, no matter the incredible things we'll go on to do after we leave here, UTD will always be home for us. Now, go forth and bring the joy, passion, and empathy that we cultivate in A&H out into the world. Here's to you, the class of 2022. And now to introduce today's alumni speaker, it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Shiley Warren, Graduate Associate Dean for the School of Arts and Humanities.
Thank you so much, Ben, for that wonderful speech. Congratulations, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'd like to introduce Daniela Mestenek Young. She's an American author and a speaker who was raised abroad in the religious cult Children of God. She graduated from UTD Summa Cum Laude in Literary Studies, as it was then called, in 2009. As a student, she played chess and was part of the Golden Key Honor Society. After graduation, she served as an intelligence officer in the U.S. Army for over 6 years, making the rank of captain, and she became one of the first women in U.S. Army history to conduct deliberate ground combat operations when she volunteered to serve on a female engagement team. She's a recipient of the Presidential Volunteer Service Medal. Daniela lives with her husband and daughter in Maryland and is a candidate for a master's degree in industrial and organizational psychology from Harvard Extension School. Daniela's first book, Uncultured, a memoir of cults, war, and belonging, is being published by Macmillan this September. Look forward to her book tour online. Please welcome Daniela Mestenek Young.
Hello, my fellow comets. I'm glad to see that we still don't do the swoosh when the faculty wants us to. It's an honor to be standing here today on the same stage where I was the undergraduate speaker 13 years ago. I believed then, as I hope you do now, that my path was filled with promise, but I couldn't have imagined the twists and turns that would give me an unbelievable life and the insights to write about it. This moment stands on the precipice of promise, the air sweet with anticipation of joy, success, and acknowledgement of the hard work we've done. For you, it's this graduation day. For me, it's standing here at my beloved alma mater on the eve of my first book. Together, we think about the future and the present, while also reflecting on the past. For me, traditional education almost didn't happen. When I was a school-age girl, I lived in fear that an uncle would catch me reading the wrong book, a crime for which I would have been severely beaten. What? Those things don't happen to girls who look like me. Those things happen in Afghanistan, right? It turns out those things happen in extreme environments that focus on total control, where education or any form of daring to think differently or be creative is the highest crime. It happens in places like the religious sex cult, the Children of God, where I was born and raised, as was my mom, who's here with me today. Cult scholars call it the world's largest global cult. We called it the family. And for generations in my family, that's all we knew. We believe in love, faith, and Jesus, but it turned into practicing religious pedophilia, prostitution, and preparing for our own deaths as martyrs in the apocalypse. But in secret, hidden in communes around the globe, I read and read and read in any language I could find. At 15, I escaped the cult by being so much trouble they had to kick me out before my wild ideas would infect the others. But as arts and humanities graduates, you understand the power of words. They take a while to find their way, but eventually they take hold. After my excommunication, I found myself with $0 in a completely alien planet, the great state of Texas. After years of struggle, when I finally got to UTD, it felt like an ethereal, magical paradise of learning, and that was before the multi-million-dollar facelift. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew STEM was closed to me because my 2 years of high school did not prepare me. And a friend said to me, "Daniela, you talk about books so much. Why don't you major in literature?" And y'all, the first day I knew I could major in books, I made my home in the Eric Johnson building. I was still dazed and confused, but fortunately, since most professors start Western literary tradition by reading the Bible, I didn't feel that lost. And I became obsessed with learning and reading and writing about the greats. And if you don't believe how intense I was, please note that Dr. Sean Cotter fled the continent prior to my arrival for this speech. But it was pretty risky for someone like me with no safety net to choose a degree with no future. Except that since the day I've graduated, I've never made less than the median income, and sometimes more than 6 figures. Turns out, our world communicates in language. And when you're good at manipulating and analyzing language, it's not such a soft skill after all. And I heard 1,000 times, "What the hell are you gonna do with that degree?" That question that we're all familiar with. And it secretly fascinated me that people thought I could be summa cum laude at analyzing and manipulating anything without being good at analyzing and manipulating them. So I joined the Army as an intelligence officer. And now, here's a quick list of things I've proven that you can get paid to do with an arts and humanities degree. Parents, take note or take heart, whichever you prefer. Become a military intelligence officer thinking you're gonna be James Bond. Discover that you're Q instead. Title a chapter in your book, "You're Not James Bond." Almost get kicked out of spy school for cheating until you helpfully illuminate the difference between plagiarism and real-time intelligence collection. Get lots of extra duty, but also win your spy credentials. Ruin an excellent teachable moment in officer school by figuring out the ambush ahead of time because you were once a member of the UT Dallas chess team. And we don't call it wargaming for nothing. Do combat missions in Afghanistan, make history for women, receive an award from the president. Also, take a knee right onto a giant cactus on your 3rd step off the helicopter. Write your college mentor a real-world example of how to use his graduate-level translation studies theory in counterterrorism work. Accidentally give his life's work validation. Encourage your soldiers to do spy training using World of Warcraft as their country. Realize that live-action role-playing is the best way to engage intelligence nerds. Get all of your husband's coolest helicopter combat missions canceled because you're in charge of describing the threat and you paint vividly threatening word pictures. Be part of taking down a combat ban that legally discriminated against women in all branches of the US military. Write a chapter in your book called "I'm the Bitch." Fail several of your own arts businesses miserably, but realize the parallels between fundraising for a tech startup and getting a traditional book deal. After a crazy decade, finally stop and just focus on making great art, as Neil Gaiman once said, and then reverse engineer the way to tell the story of your life as a memoir with both mass market appeal and literary value. Although I do suspect another cactus-related incident in my future. Even when I didn't know I was an artist, something in me knew. I thought I was just here to analyze the experts and write about the greats. But now I've created my own work of literature. Now I'm the author whose work is being analyzed. And I believe all of you can and will make great art. I once heard a senior Microsoft executive talk about how robots would soon be replacing jobs we'd never imagined. What can hold a scalpel steadier than any trained surgeon? He said. A robot? What can be a better computer of case law with less human bias than even the best trained judge? Maybe one day a robot. And as much as my helicopter pilot husband doesn't like to admit it, we're all already flown around the globe by robots. What we were going to be left with, his point was human creativity as the last level of innovation that cannot be replaced. So please imagine a tech guy admitting the arts and humanities degrees are worthwhile. And I took two things away from that. One is that it's not only cult leaders predicting the apocalypse, and two, even when the robots do come, they're not going to know what to do with us artists. So what are you going to do with this hard-earned degree? First of all, you don't have to know that when you're 21 or 22 years old. And anyone that says that they did is lying to you. But don't forget that our world communicates in language. We experience our lives in living color, in picture, and through artistic design. Our perception of how the world works is often at the mercy of whoever was in the room when history was being written. We are the translators of this world full of complex and nuanced sensations, of misunderstood emotions, of joy and love and xenophobic fear and extremes and polarizing hatred and everything else in between. We are the ones that understand that black and white aren't opposites or absolutes. They are merely different reflections of a whole range of colors. We are the ones that know how to describe and project things for the rest of the world. We are the brains that won't be replaceable when the robots come. I could go on, but I've never forgotten the advice that Associate Dean Shelley Lane gave me the first time I gave a speech here. After coaching me with incredible kindness, she said to me, "Daniela, don't be nervous. Nobody cares what you have to say. The parents are just here to hear their children's name called, and you all just want to party." I wish her the best in retirement, and I hope some of you tell her that I used that concept training many baby lieutenants who were very scared to go to war the first time and really enjoyed telling them that nobody cared what they had to say. So with no further ado, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to all of you graduates and invite you to join me in manipulating the hell out of our world. Swoosh. I now invite to the podium the Undergraduate Associate Dean for the School of Arts and Humanities, Dr. Mark Rosen.
Thank you. I would like to offer a special recognition of those students graduating with honors today. A minimum GPA of 3.4 is required for all Latin honors. Students graduating with major honors may be wearing a stole around their shoulders. Cum laude. These are the medallions with green ribbons. The grade point average that represents the top third of all graduates in the School of A&H is considered the threshold for awarding cum laude honors. Cum laude graduates, please stand as you are able to be recognized. Up. Please stay standing. Magna cum laude, medallions with green and white ribbons. The GPA that represents the top 15% of all graduates in the School of Arts and Humanities is considered the threshold for awarding magna cum laude honors. Magna cum laude graduates, please stand as you are able to be recognized. Please stay standing. Summa cum laude. These are the medallions with orange and white ribbons. This is the GPA that represents the top 5% of all graduates in the School of A&H. That is considered the threshold for awarding summa cum laude honors. Students graduating summa cum laude, please stand as you are able and be recognized. Please be seated. Major honors is awarded to students who completed a thesis or project under the supervision of 2 faculty members. The work must be graded with a B+ or better, and the student must have a GPA of at least 3.5. I would like to invite all students who participated in major honors to stand as you are able. Candidates, please be seated. Collegium 5 is UTD's 4-year honors program. CV admits approximately 300 students per year. To graduate with C5 honors, students must graduate with a 3.5 GPA, take 24 hours of honors-related work, and complete an honors capstone thesis or projects. Posters from these projects are displayed in the atrium of the Green Center outside the C5 lounge for the following academic year. I would like to involve all C5 graduates here to stand as you are able and be recognized. Candidates, please be seated. Phi Kappa Phi is the nation's oldest, largest, and most selective all-discipline honor society. All Phi Kappa Phi members, please stand as you are able and be recognized. Please be seated. The candidates for undergraduate degrees have all completed at least 120 hours, with at least 51 of them being upper level, and they have earned at least 45 hours from UTD. They have completed all requirements for their major as stated in the university catalog. Will all candidates who are to receive the bachelor's degree today please rise if able. Candidates, please be seated. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium again the Graduate Associate Dean, Dr. Shiley Warren.
Today's commencement ceremony is the highlight of the academic calendar for all of us. I love these events. It's great to see you. Everybody looks fantastic in their robes of many colors. We know you've spent an enormous amount of time and energy, in particular our graduate students, deepening your knowledge and becoming a specialist in your area of research. You've likely read thousands of pages and written thousands and thousands of words. You've engaged with scholarship and made your own contributions to academic and public knowledge. You've transitioned from being one of our students to one of our intellectual colleagues, and we welcome you with enthusiasm. I want to thank our faculty who have guided you and mentored you on this journey through coursework, exams, theses, and dissertations. I'd also like to recognize the tremendous contributions of the parents, families, and friends that helped make this day a reality. Students succeed not only because of their own efforts, as we know, but because of the support they receive from families, friends, and faculty. So to our graduates and their supporters, congratulations, good luck, and best wishes for your very bright futures. Will all candidates who are to receive master's degrees please rise as able and remain standing? On behalf of the faculty, I certify that the candidates who have completed all of their academic requirements are entitled to receive their master's degrees. Candidates, please be seated. Last Friday, a special recognition ceremony was conducted for graduating doctoral students. Each student who participated in that ceremony invited their advisor or another UTD faculty member to assist the Dean of Graduate Education in placing the doctoral hood of their commencement regalia over their heads. The conferral signified the success of the candidate in completing their program of studies, leading to the highest academic degree offered by UT Dallas. Since the doctoral recipients are already hooded, it now only remains for them to receive their diplomas. So I ask that all doctoral recipients now stand as able to be recognized. Graduates, please be seated. Congratulations. I turn the podium back to Dean Romer.
Thank you, Dr. Warren. Just before we proceed, I think we should also take a moment to recognize our faculty. If you don't mind, rise as you're able to be recognized and celebrated for all that you've done. Please be seated. As Dean, it is my privilege to congratulate and formally recognize the graduating class of 2022 for the School of Arts and Humanities. I now invite all graduates to cross the stage. Audience, please listen carefully for your graduate's name as they cross the stage by degree, but not in alphabetical order. So, congratulations. I think we need to move you along the stage here right now. There we go.
Now presenting your student speaker.
Ben Wise.
Graduates receiving a baccalaureate degree, please come forward as your name is called. Stuart Matthew Clinton Norris. Alirega Jama Bore. Patricia Ann Matthew. James Tyler Coleman. Galen John Wampler. Jessica April James. Brittany Nicole Wallen. Seth David Ritchie. Margaret Elise McCarty. Chrissy May. Rachel Leanne Good. Andres Fernando Tarango. Jaylon Mati. Yenni No. Nadine Mohammed Saeed. Madison Michelle Nelson. Misty Mackenzie Sutton. Andrew Charles Iniguez. Jasmine Benham. Maria Elizabeth Schaefer. Rika Daniela Lilina. Jessica Elise Ransput. Michelle Rodriguez. J. Calvin Nelson. Amelia Elizabeth Arlene Neild. Jordan Keith Klein. Alexandria Nicole Hornsby. Hayden Lane Lopez.
Michaela Hemphill.
Ryan Christopher Brown. Paul Ryan Monaco. Mullen Ayan Agrawal. Samantha Prado Delgado. Thi Hong Fan. Alexandria Marie Hale. Derek Youngwook Park. Melinda Ariel Calanzas.
Graduates receiving a master's degree, please come forward as your name is called. Stephen Kyler West. Douglas Richard Lehman. Nathan Lewis Connard.
Twa Yi Sung.
Jenna Lawrence. Jerry Peoples Jr. Jason Anthony Walker. John Hanger Sockeritz.
Isaac Adrian Morano. Gotcha. The outfit was kind of,
Graduates receiving a doctoral degree, please come forward as your name is called. Matthew Dean Keys.
Kehan Ne.
Farah Siddiqui. Patricia Jean Stout.
This concludes the presentation of degrees.
Congratulations, one and all. I would like to thank now the university staff who planned and executed the commencement ceremonies today and express my appreciation to faculty and administrators who gave their time today to participate. And now, Comets, we have one more last assignment to you. Would you please rise as able? That worked out. And now you move your tassels from the right side to the left side. Just one more. For those of you with class rings, I invite you now to turn them so that they face away from you, to point outward toward your future, symbolically pointing to your place in the larger world of UT Dallas alumni. Just a little turn. All right? So now, there it is. Let me be the first to offer my warmest congratulations to you and my very best wishes for a prosperous and joyful future. In addition to earning the degrees conferred upon you today, you have earned the right to be associated with a very, very special group of individuals. You may now call yourself alumni of the University of Texas at Dallas. I know for a fact that we have some alumni also with us today. Could I please ask all UT Dallas alumni here in the ATC Hall also to rise and to be recognized. Yay! Well, welcome back. This day marks a wonderful milestone not only in your lives but also in the life of the university. I wish you all the best as you go into your new lives as graduates of the University of Texas at Dallas. Enjoy your day of celebration with your family and friends and return to us soon. And now I ask you to rise and join us in the singing of the UT Dallas Mater, led by members of the UT Dallas Chamber Singers. Please direct your attention to the screen behind me. Graduates, please remain standing. Will the audience please be seated? In a moment, the administration and faculty will recess through the rear doors of the lecture hall, after which our graduates will also recess. Graduates, please pay attention to the staff from the School of the Arts and Humanities as they ask you to recess one row at a time. Once the graduates have left, friends and family may exit out the south door of the building and turn left to join us in the Davidson Gandhi Alumni Center. Thank you all for joining us today, and congratulations again to our class of 2022.
There's a thank you. There's a music stand right there, backstage right. Don't worry about it, we'll deal with it.